There are lots of ways that Mercedes could have gone about this, but they decided to go a bit rogue. Ever hear of the phrase bringing a knife to a gunfight? Well, this is it. Except instead of a knife, they threw a couple of hand grenades and whipped out a machine gun. In a manner of speaking. Allow me to explain. This is the new Mercedes-AMG E53 4MATIC Plus Cabriolet. Now, as the name suggests, it is an E-Class, but it's much shorter than the long wheelbase version that we get here. And of course, there's the last word, Cabriolet, which means it can do this. A good 20 seconds later, a sizable portion of your car has vanished. How about that? Now, instantly, the fact that this E53 comes with a soft top gives it 67 very valuable additional points. Let's not get into how impractical it may seem for a country like India. Because it is. We are a land of extremes. Extreme sunshine, rain, pollution, dust, cold, bigotry. The list goes on. But all of that can be forgiven because in a land of extremes, it rarely gets cooler than a convertible car. Back to the main topic. If you don't like the current black the soft top is in, Mercedes will give you the option of 4 different shades you can pick for it. And the cool bit is that there's even a little spoiler here at the top of the windshield to better channel the airflow above your head. On a side note, if it wasn't clear already, I will be staying away from the phrase wind in the head for the duration of this video, and for obvious reasons. Now here's the curious bit. Mercedes could have very well just put in one of their petrol engines into the Cabrio and just called it a day. But here's why I said they brought grenades and a machine gun to a gunfight. There is an inline 6 firing away under there, which has turbo and also an E-motor to provide you extra boost. That's 435 horsepower and 520 Nm all in. And it sounds glorious, just absolutely divine. Point to note, this is not a full-fat AMG, but it is a damn good and enthusiastic one, alright. Flick it into sport mode and everything becomes taut. The springs, the adaptive dampers, the throttle response and the steering weight. After that, it behooves you to find a couple of corners and make a day out of it. Now, I'm not saying that this is a track-ready machine, because it's not. But it is so much fun around corners and bends, more than a convertible's chassis should allow it to be. This thing just loves to be revved hard, and it is a joyous thing to behold. It'll crack 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds, and if you listen carefully, there are pops and bangs on the overrun. Yay! I also have to give it to the ride. Especially in comfort mode, this thing handles our bumps and potholed roads with such ease. It's just so much better than I expected it. And this is despite running 20-inch wheels. The adaptive dampers over here, they're working really hard. For all its good attributes though, the E53 does have a few shortcomings. For one, the boot space is severely curtailed because of the roof folding mechanism. The only way to get around that is to, just drop the rear seats and get some additional room, which you very well should do because this is very much a 2-seater despite the 2+2 setup. But if you were to treat it like a regular 4-seat sedan, well then you won't be getting too much success out of it. But this is nitpicking. This is not a practical car and you should not treat it as such. You don't count calories before chomping down a Big Mac, do you? Besides, it's got so much going for it, and I haven't even brought up stuff like the LED headlamps or the head-up display or the 64-color LED mood lighting or the fact that it gets a 590-watt Burmester sound system, the 7 airbags. It's got a lot. I suppose the best way that I can summarize the E53 is it's an indulgence. It's the car you buy after your primary or your secondary car. Or it's your midlife crisis car. But what an indulgence it is.